Pastor Robert has asked us to speak on our membership vows of prayers, presence, gifts, service, and witness. Each of us is called to prayer at home, at church, and just wherever you might be. God wants us to talk to Him in all situations, both good and bad. Now, on our pew card that's in our pews or online, you can turn in your cards, especially if you would like to have multiple people praying for anything in particular. You can do it anonymously if you don't want to write your name on it, or not. And the prayer requests go to the prayer team on Tuesday, which I'm a member, and Vicki Butcher then will send out emails to the prayer chain members. So there's lots of people praying the prayers that you want. And I have witnessed the power of many prayers in my family when my brother had quadruple bypass and a valve job this summer, and he is a transfigured person. So it is very exciting, and I know a lot of community members, when we hear about being sick and in the hospital and that, it's just wonderful to hear that wonderful things have happened. God's way, not our way. Now, being named Martha, I was destined to be in service, since Martha was the sister of Lazarus in the Bible and was always busy doing. And you know me, I'm doing. While Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet and listening to him. So our service to family and friends usually is fairly easy. And we also want to be of service to our community, our church community. But I think God wants us to step out of our comfort zone and serve others, especially strangers. And sometimes it's best if we do it with others. It's not quite so scary. Some of our congregation choose to serve Jesus by doing food and fellowship at Monday lunch, or bringing in food to the blessing box that's down on the side, by the side door. We have others that bring in gently used winter clothes for those people in need, and especially some of our international students that are coming from hot climates are in shock. Some of our First Saturday ministries are loaves and fish, where we give loaves of bread and fish cookies to some of the new people in our community. And of course, you've heard about the baby blankets and the fleece blankets that the police give to those who are cold and need that comfort of a warm blanket. Our flower arrangement ministries give flowers each month to those that are in the hospital. We give individual flower arrangements to the people in the hospital. And a new one that we just were doing were cards for children and their children and their siblings that are in the hospital suffering from cancer. It's terrible for a child to have cancer, but as a brother or sister, it's hard for them also. We also have a prison ministry where we write letters to inmates, and of course we have our angel tree that you've been hearing about. Now, service to strangers can be a blessing to both them and to us. And you know what? Strangers become our friends.
Robert asked us to also discuss what it means to share our presence. That's being at such things as attending worship, our gifts, and our witness. To me, these are all interrelated. Robert's sermon series on the Apostle Paul and the letters to Timothy struck me as it reinforced that as Christians, we are meant to be a communal people. We're meant to be a community. We are at our best when we share with and support one another. We are fortunate at First UMC, besides worship, we have small groups, First Saturday, church potlucks, connection time, Bible studies, missions, choir and music. We have many ways we can be community. Sharing our gifts. We all have gifts, and I'm not just talking about our tithes and offerings. greeting that person that we haven't met before, sending a card to someone on their birthday, giving a ride to a person who's undergoing a form of treatment, taking dinner to an ill neighbor, being that non-judgmental ear to someone looking for a person to talk with, or telling someone about the opportunities at Monday lunch. Sharing our witness. To me, this is one of the greatest things about this church. We've transformed ourselves from being a church where we assign jobs and tasks to being a church where people see a need and they address it. They volunteer to do something about it, and then they invite others to join them. As I close, I want to make 2 points. Go back 10 years ago. We were in a period as a church of what I would call self-doubt. Nothing seemed to be going quite right. I think most of you have heard of doing a gut check. Well, we as a congregation did a soul check and a gut check. We realized how important this church truly was to each of us. We changed what we were. We transformed this church, I believe. Second, I have no doubt in my mind, but Pastor Robert and Penny were truly an answer to prayer. Robert likes to say he always strives for above-average sermons. Well, Robert, Penny, your ministry here has been way, way above average. But in Robert and Penny's retiring, we have a new opportunity. Robert has helped us redefine who we are as a congregation. Now it is time for us to dedicate ourselves to be a congregation that supports a new minister who can again make us way, way, way above average.
Hopefully, many of you have received pledge cards in the mail this week, which represents the Christian mark of our financial gifts to Christ and his church. To help us prepare for 2023 and a new year of ministry with an old minister and a new minister, we are invited to prayerfully commit the card and return it at your earliest convenience. They can either be mailed into the church or placed in the offering plates in the back of the church, and we do have extras if you do not get them in the near future. So God can be a blessing to others through us, no matter what our ages. But stewardship is more than just pledging to give money. How is God calling each of you to fill out that pledge card? And consider, how will you offer your prayers, your presence, your gifts, your service, and your witness this holiday season and into 2023?